Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this denim tote bag. I made it out of two different pair of jeans because I wanted different colors of denim. You don't have to do that, you can do it all out of one. This denim bag has a zipper closure at the top, and I also will demonstrate how to put a pocket on the inside. I do want to suggest one thing that'll make life a lot easier for you. I highly recommend you use a denim sewing machine needle size 100/16. I recommend you use denim jeans that have a wide leg. It doesn't mean you can't use skinny jeans, but you have more area for the bag. I used the lower legs to cut my pieces out. So I needed two lower legs that were 14-inch by 16-inch. For some of the pieces of denim that you'll need, you might be able to cut them out of the upper portion of the pants. It just depends on how wide you are cutting your fabric for the bag. You have an option of using pockets on the denim bag. So if you do, you need to remove the outer edge stitches on these three sides. Now on the back side of your denim, you want to take the fleece, and I've cut it 13.5 by 15.5, and then fuse it on the back side of the fabric. You can follow package instructions for fusing. It's a very, very simple process. Then at two bottom corners, you're going to take a ruler and put your 1-inch lines on the edges of the fabric, and then trace around it. And then go ahead and cut the corners out. One thing I wanted to point out that I didn't mention earlier is I decided to take this seam that has the stitching on it to be in the center front of the bag. You can pick the other seam if you like that does not have this top stitching. Now, as far as selecting your pockets, they can be decorative like this, or if you want them larger, I would look at men's pants because the pockets are a lot larger. If you don't want them to be that decorative, just select, and this is from a woman's jean, you can just select this basic denim style. You'll need a seam ripper to go and take the outer edge stitch line out, and then you have this little bar tack stitch up here that you will also need to remove. You can place them anywhere you want on the bag. You can have one higher or lower, or where they kind of overlap each other just a little bit. Then pin them down and stitch on the outer edge, and make sure you back stitch several times because this is a stress point. To make the straps, I'm using denim fabric that's a different color of denim. It's a little darker, and I've cut it 2 inches wide by 24 inches long. You can make your straps any width and any length that you like. After you cut them out, fold the edges in about 1/4 inch on each side and press. Then fold them together and press. Then on each side of the strap, you're going to stitch the full length from one end to the other. Then you place the straps in this position like this, and the ends of the straps, I place mine about 3 inches from the side. So go in 3 inches and place them down. Then you're going to stitch close up to the edge just to hold them in place and stitch back and forth several times. Then you take your back section and put the second strap on. Now you will need to cut 2 strips of denim that are 2 inches wide by 12.5 inches long. And you'll need to do the same thing for the lining. Cut 2 that are the same size. This strip is going to go on each side of the zipper. you want to bring the front sides of the fabric together. Those are the darkest sides. And you're going to stitch on 3 edges. So you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam on both ends and then all the way across. Then at the corners where you stitched around, you're going to cut some of the denim off. And you want to leave about 1/8 inch around that corner. Reach inside and turn it front side out. Then you want to press both of them flat. So you're making 2 of those and they go on each side of the zipper. So place it up near the zipper teeth. Don't get too close because you want to make sure it's easy to open the zipper. And then stitch it down on both sides and make sure you put your zipper foot on. On each end of the zipper, you're going to need to cut a piece of fabric for each end. So you'll cut 2 pieces, 1.5 by 2.5 inches. On each piece, you're going to fold the ends over just slightly under 1/4 inch, and you're folding it towards the back of the fabric, the not so pretty side, and press it. Then take and fold it in half, and your zipper, including the zipper tape, is about 1 inch wide. So you want to stitch on each side slightly less than 1/4 inch. So stitch on this side and then this side, and then turn it front side out. And then insert the ends of the zipper tape inside and then stitch across close to the edge of the fabric, and you also do it at the other end. Now take the raw edge here that's attached to the zipper, and you're going to center it on the bag up here at the top. And then you're just going to do a basting stitch to hold it in place, and you're going to stitch close to the edge all the way across. Then you go ahead and stitch the other side onto the other side of the back. Now bring the back side of your sections together, the front and back section. Make sure you unzip your zipper, and you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam along this edge over here, and then the bottom edge. Now we're going to stitch the boxed corners. Now I only had you cut out a 1 inch boxed corner. That will give you a depth from front to back of 2 inches in the bag. If you feel you would like a deeper bag, then you would cut a 1.5 inch square up to 2 inches. Just remember, it shrinks the bottom of the bag the more you do it. So no matter what size you decide to cut, you want to reach in. You're going to pull this side and this side away from each other, bringing the seams together. So you just pull away like this and bring the seams together. Now I've got one that's all done. So as you're pinning it, you have the seams matched together like you see here, and then stitch a 1/4 inch across. Reach inside the bag and turn it front side out. At each lower corner, push the boxed corners out. Cut 2 lining pieces that are also 14 inches wide by 16 inches long. And then on each piece, you're going to cut out the lower corner 1 inch square on each lower corner. I'm going to show you how to put a pocket to your fabric on the inside. You'll need 2 pieces that are 6.5 by 9.5 inches square. You're going to stitch around all 4 sides doing a 1/4 inch seam and leave about a 2 to 3 inch opening on one side. Now trim some of the fabric off on all 4 corners like that, leaving about 1/8 inch fabric. Then go to your little opening, reach inside and turn it front side out. After turning it front side out, make sure you reach in and poke all 4 corners out. Then you want to go to your ironing board and press all your seams flat. While you're pressing, you want to turn your opening edges in 1/4 of an inch so that it lines up with this edge, and press those flat. Then center it across the width of the bag. This is 14 inches going across here. And you can place it up real high or low. I've kind of put it just slightly above the midpoint. And then you're going to pin it down, back stitch both at the top corners here, and stitch around close to the edge. Now you have an option of just leaving it one large wide open pocket, or if you want to subdivide it, put it into 2, 3 pockets, then you would just go over, oh, this can maybe hold tube of lipstick, go over and stitch straight down. And then if you want 2 more smaller ones, you can stitch straight down. Or let's say you want it stitched right down the middle, you can do that too. Now you're going to stitch on 3 sides. So stitch a 1/4 inch seam along the bottom, 1/4 inch seam along here, and also a 1/4 inch seam on this side. But you're going to leave a rather large opening, large enough, a little bit bigger than the width of your hand, so that you can use that opening later to turn the bag front side out. Then after you've stitched those 3 sides, then you're going to go ahead and fold and stitch your box corners on the 2 lower bottom corners. Now insert your denim fabric inside of the lining fabric and line up your side seams. Fold the zipper band and the straps inside on each side. Before you pin the lining to the upper edge of the denim fabric, you want to push your zipper at each end on the side of the denim fabric. Then bring your lining fabric and match the side seams. Pin all the way around the top edge. If you prefer, you can use clips if it's easier for you, but pins are fine also. Then you want to stitch a 1/2 inch wide seam all the way around. Reach in through the side opening and begin turning the bag front side out. Fold the opening edges in 1/4 of an inch, bring the 2 sides together, pin it, and then stitch close to the edge all the way across. Now take the lining and push it inside of the bag. And then when you get it all in, push your box corners out at the bottom. Now you want to fold that zipper band inside and try to even your edges up here as much as possible. I used clips because by this time it's pretty thick. You can still use straight pins, but it's going to be a lot easier if you have clips. Then you want to stitch around the top side here about 1/8 of an inch from the very top edge, all the way around. And here's what it looks like after it's been stitched up at that top edge. And then you can close the zipper up. If you don't want the ends of the zipper to stick out, all you need to do is stick it down inside the corner there at each end. And then it will look like this. Here's the front of the bag, and I'm going to flip it over, and here is the back. One more thing you can add to a denim bag is to take some string or cording. I use something called Pop Rainbow Cording. I bought it at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. I also added the beads on. These were from Joann Fabrics and Crafts. It just adds a little extra flair. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. Now, if you're interested in other beginners sewing projects and other tote bags, you want to scroll down to the description section, click on Show More or the down arrow, and it will expand open and you'll see all kinds of links. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.